Hello, Wheeliebins here, and in today's video we're going to be looking at 5 new Xbox Game Pass games that are guaranteed to get you 5,000 Gamerscore in under 10 hours worth of gameplay. We're going to quickly look at a short trailer clip from each of the games, and then we're going to talk about briefly the achievements of the game itself, and roughly how long it should take you to complete. If you like this video and want to see similar content created in the future, please hit the like and subscribe button. We really appreciate it, thank you. So sit back and enjoy, starting with number 5. Taking the longest time to complete today on our list, we have Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. This game has 15 achievements and will take you around 3 hours to complete in total. The game itself doesn't really give you much of a tutorial, which is probably why the game takes so long, in my opinion, to get all the achievements. You're kinda just thrown in at the deep end all on your own. However, just by quickly looking at the achievement list yourself, you can quickly grasp how to complete these achievements. I'd probably say the hardest one, and the one that personally took me the longest one, was the achievement Long Odds. It probably took me an additional 1 hour in time to get this last achievement after I've completed the game for the first time. And that's mainly down to the fact that you have to start a brand new game after you've completed the game. Overall, in terms of difficulty, you're probably looking at about 3 out of 10 for this game for all the achievements. It's not really that difficult, and it's quite boring and tedious towards the end of the game. With that said, we move on to number 4. At number 4 on our list, we have the game Unpacking. Unpacking follows the life of a little girl all the way from childhood into adulthood. Unpacking has a total of 25 achievements, and the game will probably take you about 2 hours to complete. The beauty with this game, unlike the last one, is that once you've completed the game, you can go back and pick up any achievements that you've missed. Looking at the list of achievements, the description of each achievement is pretty much self-explanatory. The only ones that were probably going to take you a little bit of time to figure out are the secret achievements: strike a pose, sometimes food, electrical hazard. Now these involve making a mannequin dab, putting the cookie jar out of reach, and putting an electronic item somewhat dangerous, without giving too much more information away. Apart from these 3 achievements, everything else is pretty straightforward. The game receives a 4.5 out of 10 for difficulty. And the reason for this is once you've finished unpacking a room, the items that are not in the right place will start to flash, and towards the end of the game, this becomes a little bit more difficult and turns more into a puzzle solver. The next game at number 3 we have At number 3 we have Deeer Simulator, your average everyday deer game. This game has 17 achievements and will take you about 2 hours to complete. Now the general premise of this game is that you run around as a deer, shooting and causing destruction wherever you go. The more destruction you cause, the more enemies come at you in waves. Deer Simulator will take a little bit more thinking than any other game that you played up to press on this list, and that's because most of the achievements are actually secret achievements. You have to play and just do random things within the game in order to unlock these achievements. Don't worry if you've completed the game, because you'll be able to come back into the world and unlock these achievements at any time. For some of these secret achievements you may need to do a little bit of research online on how to unlock them. It probably took me about an hour to complete this game, but then another hour to find the secret achievements and figure out how to do them. Most of them, of course, though, you could probably cheat online and have a look at a video on how to do them. It is worth noting that there are 2 different endings to this game. You'll get an option at some point in the game. This will either unlock the true ending or the average everyday ending. Just remember to go back and pick the other option on your next playthrough. All in all, in terms of difficulty, we give this game about a 5 out of 10, just because there are many secret achievements for this game. However, again, they're pretty fast and easy to do. Moving on to the next game in our list, we have at number 2
Here's the plan, boys. Stripesy, you go through the roof. Banana, you cut the laser. Red, you go through the sewer. I open the vault. And then we slip away like thieves in the night.
Moving on to number 2 now, we have Rubberbands. Now out of all the games on today's selection, this one is my personal favourite. I even played the game for several hours after I'd completed it, just because it was that entertaining and that good. The game itself probably took me about an hour and a half to complete, and most of the achievements you can complete pretty easy in single player. However, it's more fun to do it online, however it might take you a little bit longer to do so. All in all, there are 19 total achievements. Some of them you have to complete in the single player mode. However, if you have a second controller or friends, you can play it with them and you can do it together. Out of all the achievements, the 2 hardest achievements are Mastermind, which is win 10 games of heist. This could be very time consuming if you're not particularly very good at the game. If you're having difficulty, obviously just bring a second controller and play with 2 players. Yes, tedious it is, however you'll get the achievement no problem. I preferred to do it online because it was quite frankly more fun and quite entertaining to play against various players. The next achievement I want to talk about is Greed is Good. Now that is actually the hardest achievement to unlock. You have to exit the game with $10 10 times. That's the maximum amount of dollars in a game. If you're competing against people online, that can be particularly hard, especially when everyone's out to get you if you've got $10 on you. The achievements are only a 4 out of 10 in my opinion for difficulty, however I recommend anybody, even if you're not looking to get achievements, playing this game, just because of how entertaining it actually is. And with all that being said, we're now going to move on to the final game of our selection today, at number 1. At number 1 and the final game on our list today is Townscaper. This game should take you just under an hour to complete. For me personally, it took me about 30 minutes. I will be the first to admit though that after 15 minutes I did have to look online on how to complete the last 3 achievements, just because the achievements themselves, description wise, are not really that good. They tell you what to build, however they don't really tell you how to build it, and I couldn't really find a tutorial on how to do any of the building in the actual game itself. The achievement I found most difficult was Propelled. This is building a floating town supported by propellers. Now the reason why it's so difficult is because you have to find a specific grid location on the map, which there's no coordinates, so you can't just cheat and go there, you have to search for it. It took me about 10 minutes of time to search for the ideal location and then 2 minutes to build it. If I found the location quicker, I probably would have completed the entire game in about 10 to 15 minutes. With that being said, this game is a 1 out of 10 for difficulty. However, it was probably the most tedious and boring game out of the entire selection today, but it was the fastest to complete. And that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you.